Alright, Shalom. Before I begin this video, all praise, honor, and glory goes into Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak, Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, GMS, who rule well and teach well and taught us His truth, as well as the sincere salutations to the elder bishops, along with you brothers, right, who are pushing and laboring all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai throughout the four winds of the earth. To you, I say Shalom. Alright, we're in the last moments. Right? We see the sea hip coming around the corner. We see mayhem, anarchy. We see all these things coming. It's approaching swiftly. We in that final hour. We in the last days, the last moments, and it's something that every brother in this truth is constantly going into, especially as of now. We're constantly bringing up, the latter days. We at the end of this thing. Alright, so this is the book of Romans. I think I'm going to start at 2, verse 2. And just going back to what I was speaking on earlier when I began this video. We in the latter times, man. We at the end. We so close to the end. We can taste it. Brother Karatza earlier made that statement. This is the book of Romans, chapter 11 and verse 2. It says, Yahweh Shem Shai has not cast away His people which He foreknew. Right, the Israelites. More specifically the elect. What ye not what the scripture saith of Elias? How he maketh intercession to Yahweh Shem Shai against Israel, saying, Lord, they have killed thy prophets, and dig down thine altars, and I am left alone, and they seek my life. But what saith the answer of Yahweh Shem Shai unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men, right, a complete number of men, the elect, who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal, partaking in this beast system, taking the sea hip, right, and falling in love. Because ultimately, by taking that sea hip, you are now property of Esau, Edom, fully, mind, body, and soul. See, right now, Esau, Edom, just basically owns our body. He don't own our spirit, though. He doesn't own our mind. Yet, once you take that sea hip, you essentially, you've given yourself up. You've surrendered. You've bowed the knee. And going back to the title of this video, we're in that final hour. We're in that time in which the sea hip is about to be presented on a worldwide scale. You're gonna have crazy ass Jake out here wilding. You're gonna have the other nations tripping. Famine, pestilence, warfare. It's gonna be cannibalism out here, right? It's going to get bad. Yet we know that the elect of the nation of Israel, ain't going to bow that knee and give in and submit. Right? That's why Lord's will we endure into the end, right? And be saved, just like be saved. It's like because just like the scriptures speak on, those that endure into the end, the same shall be saved. Going into the elect. The elect ain't gonna bow that knee. Lord's will we be of the elect. We'll leave that bowing of the knee to these other people, man. These 2/3. Because Jake don't mind bowing the knee to Baal. You ask the average Jake here in America, they don't mind. At all. They do not mind at all. They'll do whatever. Especially to live. Right? The Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, 2/3 of them, they'll do anything just to live and survive, here in Babylon the Great. Here it is, you hanging in there like, the Israelites are hanging in there like a loose tooth. Barely scraping by, barely making it, all fucking jacked up, and yet they still want to preserve their life. Here in Babylon the Great. We know that the scriptures speak on those, those that lose their life, shall gain it, roughly paraphrasing, and vice versa. So those of you that, you want to preserve your life here, you want to keep things going and keep the ball moving here in Babylon, and you want to be here forever and have your grandkids and your great-grandkids here, we know that ain't happening. We in the final hour. We in them last times, man, them last days. The C-HIP is about to be presented, on a worldwide scale. And we looking towards that. We looking towards prophecy. We want the Lord to fucking get rid of you people, man, and set up the kingdom. And by get rid of you, I mean, the missiles. Cook your ass up. These people need that. And we deserve it too, Those of us that are in the truth, each one of us deserves, right, to be deleted, deserves to be hit, with a missile. Yet the Lord, the Lord has his elect. His elect are not gonna get hit by them missiles. Now, some of his elect will be, beheaded. Different things of that nature. Be put to death in various ways. Yet, ultimately, we know that the elect ain't gonna taste the missiles. That's one thing that we know for sure. That not one of the elect are going to be hit with them missiles, man. That's something ultimately to look forward to. That's something that we truly believe. We truly believe that the elect of the nation of Israel is going to be saved, from the missiles. And then what? Beamed up by Yahweh Shai. Right? I believe it's in the book of Psalms where it speaks about the elect, in the chariot, just look, being able to behold the destruction of Babylon the Great, aka America, seeing this place get burnt up, seeing it get burnt all the way the hell up. That's something that we, once again, going back to the title, in this final hour, in these last days, that's something that we look forward to more and more. We only want, and need these things to happen more and more. It's only increasing as the days go by. We ain't, we ain't sitting around, just chilling. We occupying ourselves in prophecy. All right? We understand and we know that this place has an end. All right? Esau, Edom has an end. Okay? We're not going to be sitting here 200 years later. No. This shit has an end to it. We are in the latter days. We are in the latter times, man. So anybody who's saying otherwise, anybody who's saying that we're going to be here another 200, that nigga got demons on him. If you say we're going to be here, hell, even 10 years, man, I'll say that. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. We ain't got 10 years. 10 more years left up in here. The Lord is quickening this, immediately. We damn near, we waiting on the sea hip. The sea hip coming any moment now. Any moment. And we look forward to that. We look forward to seeing the sea hip being rolled out. We look forward to seeing Jake get sea hip. Now, of course, we don't want Jake to take the sea hip. Yet he gonna take it. That's what they're gonna do. 2/3 of our people are gonna bow that knee. Right? Yet the Lord has reserved that complete number of men. Not only to stand tall, stand boldly, okay, and also to defend the gospel. We are defenders of the gospel. We are, defenders of this truth. And what Yahweh Shemai Shai, has set up for us, the kingdom, right, and everything that comes with it, that's a reward for not bowing the knee. Because a lot of Jake, what do I get? Kingdom, nigga. What's better than that? There ain't nothing better than the kingdom. This how you know 2/3 of our people, man, they have an evil, wicked way of thinking about life. They don't want to comprehend the kingdom. They don't even want to think about the kingdom. Don't talk about the kingdom. Well, you don't know what the kingdom is like. Which we don't know the exact, exactly what it's like. Okay, yeah, it's gonna be this, that. We have the scriptures to describe to us what's going to take place. We do know that the heathen is going to be in captivity. We know that the Israelites are going to be in perfect bodies. We know that the elect of the nation of Israel is going to be the governing body of the kingdom of heaven. We know that as a fact. That's not something that we're guessing. That's a 100% fact. That is going to happen. That is going to come to pass. And we have faith. We have faith to know that. All right, this is Romans 11:5. It says, even so then, at this present time, also there is a remnant according to the election of grace. So the Lord has a remnant that He's set up even now to this day. In the year 2026, the Lord has His elect remnant So even in the year 2026, right, the Lord has his men. He's lifted up that standard, and he has his men that are not going to bow, to that image of Baal. Because you submitting to this devil, you submitting to his system. You basically saying that you want it to continue. You basically saying, oh, yep, this is what I want to do. I want to continue to serve Esau, Edom. You don't want to serve the Lord. Here it is. You don't want to serve the Lord. This is a light affliction. Yet Jake want to serve Esau. Jake don't mind serving Esau and doing that. See, you serve Esau in this society. You doing a bunch of impossible shit. You doing a bunch of impossible shit. Salakia. You having just being in this society and having to be around it seemed like because we in the truth, so it seemed like these people, it seemed like it's damn near impossible for these people to do what they do. That's how they powered by demons, man. Like how we're powered by Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. On the opposite end of that, you have Esau Edom, the so-called white man. He powered by Satan. All right, and then that just trickles down to the other nations, and then 2/3 of Israel. 2/3 of Israel have a wicked heart, a wicked mind. That's why we get the best advice on these niggas. Some of the best advice that we get is not to meddle with these people. Fuck these people. Like the Elder Amawan Gabar recently came out with a video where he made that statement. Fuck these people. These people gonna die. We don't gotta worry about these damn people. They don't understand that we in the final hour. So we, even though we weren't, we didn't care about what a nigga had to say before, we definitely don't care what you niggas say. Yeah. The more prophecies come to pass, the more things that continue to happen through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, we getting bolder and bolder. All right, y'all really ain't gonna like us when that C-hip drop. When that C-hip drop, starting off with the elder apostles of Great Millstone on down, we're gonna be talking a righteous amount of we're gonna be talking shit in righteousness. In righteousness. Y'all ain't ready for the level y'all ain't ready for the amount of shit we're gonna be talking through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Because ultimately it's the Lord speaking through us. Warning, chastising you. Right? And then ultimately, when you don't pay attention, when you talking shit, when you feel like you just good to go, the Lord's gonna mock you when your fear come, man. When you don't know what's going on, you don't know up from down, left from right, you're gonna be confused as hell. All hell breaking loose. We gonna be mocking you. We mocking you now. Look at you niggas, man. We pointing and laughing. Look at everybody who doesn't have, the Lord on their side. Lord's will. We have the Lord on our side. And we continue to have the Lord on our side. Because we pointing at, you Israelites, which, you other nations, man, fuck y'all too. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Yet we're specifically looking at the 2/3 of Israel and laughing at them because you had an opportunity to turn to the Lord. These heathens don't have the opportunity to turn towards the Lord. So that's really why we on your ass, Jake. We on the 2/3 because you had ample opportunity time and time again. You done had thousands of years to get right, Jake. You know, and, hey, we ain't nobody. We ain't nobody. We subject to the laws of the land. We gotta get up and work. You know, we subject to the laws of this land. We gotta suffer here. So we not in no position of power. Yet we speaking the words of the Lord. So you should be taking heed. Yet Jake gonna take heed. That's all right. Jake gonna get dealt with swiftly, man. Going back, to the title. We in them last hours. We in them last times, them last days, last moments, seconds. Coming soon. We gonna have our feet kicked up, looking at Esau work, and your ass gonna work. We gonna work you to deletion. Just like you did us. We gonna do it in righteousness. You did it in wickedness. Esau, you did it in wickedness. And you other nations, you partook in that. You partake in Jake being in a lower state, all jacked up. You continue to poison us. You continue to step on us. Right? And then you create a narrative to make us step on ourselves. The biggest hater of Jake, all right, besides Esau, is other Israelites. Because the Israelite, here it is, if an Israelite accidentally bumps into a Buddhist, a Japhite that's a practicing Buddhist. He got on the orange robe, motherfucker barefoot. Jake will stop. Oh, I apologize. He'll bow a little bit. I apologize. Sorry, but let him bump into another Israelite. Let a so-called Negro, Latino, Native American bump into another so-called Negro, Latino, Native American. It's gonna be on and popping. Jake gonna be ready to squabble up. There's gonna be definitely some furniture moving around if Jake bump into Jake. Nigga, you bumped into me. Nigga, you bumped into me, nigga. Next thing you know, ping pong. All types of hands coming out. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you know that our people, man, our people ultimately need the Lord to come back. Because we ain't going to be having no fights in the kingdom. Y'all two brothers calm down. No, we ain't going to have that. That's not something that we going to have to worry about. This is something that is this is temporary. This is a temporary issue. Well, ultimately, this is temporary life. All right, we stepping into forever. We stepping into the future. Ultimately, we're looking at the sea hip from not a distance. Salakia, we looking at the sea hip. It's right in front of our face. All right, and these people, they ain't got no idea. They have absolutely no idea what's coming up next. They ain't got no idea. And that's why they're going to be destroyed. We absolutely cannot wait. We can't wait. We can't wait till these motherfuckers running around like a chicken with their head cut off. We loving it. We going to be absolutely loving it, man, because you got your warning from the prophets of Yahweh Shemiah Shai, starting off with the elder apostles of Great Millstone on down. So we not hearing shit that you got to say. When all hell break loose, we ain't gonna be listening to y'all. We ignoring you. We ignoring you niggas now, bro. Every brother can testify to that. When you be in your neighborhood, you know, or you know, whatever, you in your cul-de-sac, or you know, you in your, you know, apartment complex, or you wherever you live, you ain't interacting with these people. These people gonna fucking die. They ain't, you know, you get mean mugs. You know, here it is. We in the truth. So shit, we don't do shit. We don't do nothing to nobody yet. We getting looked at with the evil eye. Why? Because it's spiritual. It's spiritual. We in these last days. We in the last moments. So these people, they're gonna have an evil eye. These people have an evil eye towards us, and that's okay. Cause we got a righteous eye towards you niggas. You niggas can keep mean mugging and looking crazy and shit. We don't give a shit about that. Hey man, we are on to something better than better. We moving on to perfection. Why would we care what a nigga has to think? Or what a bitch has to think? Why would we care about that? See, you got the wrong Israelites. Because here at Great Millstone, like the Elder Apostle Gabar likes to say, here at Great Millstone, right? Here at Great Millstone, we don't give a fuck about your feelings. We don't give a fuck about our own feelings. Brother come up, I feel sad. What you gonna get? You're gonna get a couple of scriptures. After that, I feel sad. You're gonna get a couple more scriptures. After that, I feel sad. You're going to get cussed the hell out. We not dealing with the personal, and I feel like this. I feel like that. We not dealing with that. It's not like this is spiritual warfare. We're not concerned about, you know, this how I feel. That's that woman shit, man. That's that woman shit. We in a time of spiritual warfare. Our foreheads against they foreheads. All right. Our spirit versus their spirit. Now, the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is always going to overpower that wicked bullshit that they're coming with. Yet, it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a fight. There was a Jake last week, which I wish we would have got him on video. Little nigga, make your how about Shemi Yahushua destroy you, nigga, unless you repent. That's unlikely just by how he was acting. But Jake, man, had he come up to anybody else, he probably would have just confused them. Like, had he come up to a ISUPK camp, Sons of Thunder, WFI, whatever the case is, he could have stumped them or confounded them a couple times. Yet he couldn't stump or confound us because we are, the understudies of the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Those 100% are the men of the Lord today. And we've learned from those men. That's why we give them double honors. Right? Because we know and we understand the truth because we've been taught through the Holy by Yahweh Shem Yahushua Shem Kakodash through these men. So you ain't gonna stump us. You out your damn mind. Hey man, Great Millstone undefeated through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. I have never one time, and brothers, each brother has watched thousands of videos. We've watched thousands of videos. There is not one time where you seen a brother get so stumped he just can't even open the scriptures. You know what? We just gonna pack up. We just gonna pack up and move around. No, hell nah. Hell nah. Now, of course, if Jake come up all crazy and shit, you know, you might just shake the spot and say, all right, well, we gonna go up the street and move around. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, that's just using wisdom. Yet, we not getting ran off the block, so to speak, due to not understanding the scriptures. Now, if you on some carnal shit, you know, oh, this our block, whatever. We gonna pick up the sign, we gonna leave. We ain't got time for that shit. We moving on. We warning the people. We bringing out the prophecies, man. We ain't worried about the shit, you know, camp banging. But just to contrast that, brothers have made that statement many a times that, don't think that this is just something you can just come up and put your hands on us. Because you know what's going to happen. You know exactly what's going to happen. Don't come up fucking, trying to get physical or whatnot. And here at Great Millstone, we call the authorities as well. We not on no 2/3 nigga shit. We ain't gonna snitch. No, we snitching. You put hands on us, we calling the authorities. And the authorities, they gonna do right by us. They done seen us out on the highways and byways for years. They gonna be looking at you like, who are you niggas? We know who they are. Right? That's okay. That's Great Millstone. We know who that is right there. But who are y'all? That's how they gonna be looking at you. Because ultimately, law enforcement, they respect us. They respect us. They might, honk the horn a couple times passing. You might have a 12 on the patrol walking past. They might, say what's up. And just a quick testimony. I'm gonna end the video soon, but when I was out on the highways and byways years ago, there was a Eve. She's a police officer. I still see her a lot too. I don't know if she recognizes me or not. Well, actually, yeah, she does. She does recognize me because she just kind of pulled to the side and talked to me one day. But anyways, I was, bringing out the word, Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And when she pulled up, she didn't pull up menacingly. She pulled up and she asked what I was doing. I told her I was reading the Bible, And she said, if you ever have any issue, call me. If you ever have any sort of, and I can tell that she meant that. So ultimately, law enforcement has a respect for the bringing out, the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. That'll bug 2/3 out. What the hell? Yes, they are. They're in support of us. Now, obviously, you got Edomite. You got Edomite 12. You got 2/3 12. The heathen. A lot of them are on that force. Yet ultimately they not looking at us like we evil. Right? If you come up on some physical shit, they gonna take you away. They ain't gonna take us away. Because they know that we're peaceable people. Right? They understand, okay, they don't steal, they don't be just knocking people block off, they not causing any sort of ruckus. They just read the scriptures. That's it. They don't even interact with anybody. And they know that as well. That's one of the trademarks of Great Millstone. Is just teaching the word. You could be within arm's length, of the prophets, and there's a good chance we ain't even gonna talk to you. We just gonna keep doing our lesson. Unless the spirit has it to where, we interact with you, but for the most part, we're in our own bubble, so to speak. You know, just bringing out the word, because we understand we in the last days, man. The last moments. We not out on the highways and byways pointing at people. You over there. Come over here. Get this judgment. You know. Hey, we warning the people. Right? Bringing that comfort, which is the scriptures, to the elect of the nation of Israel. Lord's will we be of the elect. Right? And pushing forward all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because we not here to be sitting here fighting and bumping and all this other shit. We bring out the scriptures, we prophesy. That's what we do on the highways and byways. We at the end of this thing. We don't what we need to argue with, and I'm gonna just speak as a man. Y'all, man, come on now. Come on, man. Like, a lot of you, and I'm gonna just say, a lot of you niggas couldn't punch your way out of a wet paper bag, man. So don't even try no shit like that. Just keep it cool. You see us keeping it cool, so you just keep it cool, man. Cause a lot of y'all ain't even y'all ain't even got into it with nobody. Y'all ain't never just came down and put hands on somebody. That ain't even something that Jake do for real. Jake just talk a bunch of shit. You don't want to do nothing like that, man. You don't want to do nothing like that. That's just stick to being an asshole. You know, don't try to get on any sort of physical, because the Lord, you never know. The Lord, we may not even physically put our hands on you. You might try to put your hands on us and just fall over. Have a damn stroke. Right there. And you know what we gonna say as soon as that happens? The Wadi Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You might try to run across the street to try to do us something, and something happen to you. You might just get clipped by a damn car. You know? That's our hope. That anybody that tries to harm us, right, on a physical level, may Yahweh Shem Yahushua Ba'ashem Makakodash harm you. On a physical level. You damn right. Because we won't do nothing to nobody physically. We'll cut your ass up with the word, but we don't do anything on a physical level, man. So the Lord sees that. So he's going to protect us. The Lord is going to fight for us. Vengeance is the Lord's, man. So you trying to be vengeful, you trying to, push that evil vibration out and put hands on us. Okay, nigga. Lord, the Lord got something for you. We don't have to do nothing on the physical end besides bring out the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. The Lord is going to handle all of that. The Lord knows what to do with somebody who's physically, violent and vile and evil. The Lord will put you up. You can come running across the street like you finna do us something, and the Lord put the spirit on you that as soon as you show up, that just leaves your mind. No matter how hard you think you want to come at us, the Lord can do that. And the Lord does that on a lower level. A lot of times brothers can attest to that. That people at first, they'll come up, trip. This may be, when you're out and about, or when you're at the job, or whatever, you just moving about the earth. People will come up to you the first 2-3 seconds, they'll come up tripping, and then they'll instantly just kind of shut all that down, because it's a spiritual thing. They understand, okay, yeah, I can't just be yelling at him. He different. He not like the other niggas, so let me have some class, and tone it down. You know, we see it all the time. But, you know, Jake will come up. You might be at the store. Jake will come up. Yeah, you was in my way. And then after a couple seconds, they sitting here like, damn, why am I tripping? Never mind, man. Never mind. You good. You know. The Lord can do that. The Lord can sway your mind. And he can have you go from being cool to on some turned up shit. You know? Like brothers have said plenty of times, man, don't do that. Don't try to get on nothing physical. Let's just keep it spiritual. Cause brothers, hey man, you don't see no little weak, you don't see no little weak Israelites, man. We brothers that are in this truth, we can defend ourselves if we got to, right? Yet we in the spirit of teach. You know, we not in the spirit of beating a nigga out his socks. You know, or else you would have been done seen that by now. You know, that's how you know we keeping it spiritual. You don't. That's not something that we known for, beating a nigga out of his socks. That's, we're known for teaching. We're known for prophecy. Right? We're known for bringing out the words of Yahweh Shem Shai. Keeping the ball rolling. We're going to keep this ball rolling. We're going to keep this wheel rolling and pushing. All through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. We at the end, man. Yet in conclusion, the Lord has reserved to himself 7,000. So those men, the elect, those are Yahweh Shem Shai's men. Those men cannot be, everybody else can get blown the hell up with them missiles here in Babylon the Great, America. The elect ain't gonna get blown up. The elect are gonna get beamed up. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. We know this is going to happen. We know that this is true. We're going to continue to push that. All right? We are at the end. We at the end. The C-hip coming any moment now. We can see the C-hip. We can see it. We're envisioning the C-hip stations. Right? All through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. Now we just waiting for it to come to pass. We know that this prophecy is coming to pass. All right, let's end it with the passage in question. Revelation 13:16, and he causeth all, that he is Esau, Edom, the elite international banking families, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Yes, so you ain't going to be able to buy or sell without this C-hip. There's also going to be a brain C-hip. And the elder apostle Tahar was going into how most individuals won't have the brain C-hip when it comes to Jake. Because, Jake don't really like his head drilled into. Yet, you're going to see a lot of Israelites with that hand C-hip. That hand C-hip. See, Jake going to love that hand C-hip. That brain C-hip, he don't really like getting drilled in the head. Now, of course, you're going to have Jake that's going to take, the forehead C-hip. Yet, most of our people, they're going to opt for that hand. And they're going to be destroyed for it. All right, so with that, Lord's will, you are edified. Call halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, GMS, who rule well and teach well and taught us His truth, as well as the sincere salutations to the elder bishops, and enough respect to you brothers worldwide. teaching and preaching the doctrine of Yahweh Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Rakakwadash in one accord, 100% accurate doctrine in sincerity and in faith. All right. Kwam Yasha and Abba Babal, may Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Rakakwadash destroy Babylon the Great, a.k.a. America, soon. Very soon. We almost up out of here. We waiting on the sea hip. We waiting on a handful of prophecy. And then our Lord is coming back. Lord's will, we be of the elect. Right? We get beamed up. Okay? And then rule forevermore in the kingdom. Rule over these heathens, man. And be up under Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You know, perfect in those perfect bodies. Let's get that guy. You know, the spirit. 1 Corinthians 15 and 52. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. Woo! That's coming, man. Perfect bodies. Perfect bodies are coming for the elect of the nation of Israel. And then, of course, the 2/3 of Israel will be born through the loins of the elect and be perfect. You know. Yet they're going to be the 2/3, man. You don't want to just be a regular citizen of Israel. You want to be the elect. And the Lord is going to have a distinction between the elect, you know, and the 2/3. You're going to know who's of the elect and you know, who was born through the loins of the elect. You know, Lord's will were of the elect. Shalom.